Lieutenant Barbara Hobbs. My first name is spelled B-A-R-B-A-R-A, last name H-O-B-B-S. I'm the lieutenant in the Capers Crimes Against Persons Division. I'm the unit commander for the homicide unit. This morning at approximately 5:50 a.m., patrol responded to a call at 1660 West Camp Wisdom Road at the Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship Church. When they arrived there, they found an individual who has been treated at that time by DFR. Basically, what they were told that happened at the scene was when a witness arrived in the parking lot to go into the church, he was sitting in his car for a few minutes prior to entering the church, and another individual pulled up in the parking lot, exited their vehicle, and walked over to his while he was still seated in his vehicle. They had a brief conversation. Our witness exited his vehicle, and when he did, he observed blood coming from wounds around the complainant's neck. They appeared to him possibly to be puncture wounds. He went into the church to ask someone in the church, an additional witness, to call 911 because this individual was injured. And the complainant followed him into the church. When he saw the second witness, our complainant ran aggressively towards him, at which time he was subdued by the first witness that had arrived in the parking lot and had a conversation with him. He continued to subdue him until DFR arrived. When DFR arrived and treated him, they found him to be deceased at the scene. We're going to make an unexplained death investigation right now until we have a ruling from the Dallas County Medical Examiner's Office. A knife was recovered at the scene, and we are still attempting to locate the complainant, family, or next of kin. And if anyone has any information that has seen something unusual or someone being stabbed, Detective Eric Barnes of the Homicide Unit is working this case, and his phone number is area code 214-283-4818.
Do we know what kind of
guy shows up in the parking lot and he's stabbed, talks to somebody in the car,
Yes.
follows him into the church,
Yes.
and then lunges at somebody else in the church?
Exactly. That's exactly what happened.
Any idea why he lunged at the second person? Did he say anything? Did they know?
He said a few things while he was having a conversation. Nothing really made sense to the individuals that were there. None of them knew him. They had never seen him before.
Did he appear to be intoxicated or on any type of drug?
They could not tell.
Where exactly was the knife found on the scene?
It was found in the foyer of the
So the
church.
man that he lunged at inside had never encountered him outside?
No, he had not.
And didn't recognize him or know him?
No one recognized him.
So our deceased person was just kind of wandering through the parking lot?
He drove his vehicle into the parking lot after our first witness, and then stood in the parking lot and had a brief conversation while he was injured. He never asked for any help, never said he was injured.
So
where was he injured? Puncture wound?
Puncture wounds in the neck.
What kind of an instrument? Do you have any idea? Ice pick, knife?
Have no idea, sir. The medical examiner hasn't finished their investigation yet.
Who was first to notice that he was injured or stabbed?
The gentleman that pulled into the parking lot, when he had the conversation with him and the complainant was standing outside the car, he didn't notice. Because of the lighting, it's still dark at 5:50 in the morning. When he stepped out, he got a better look at him with the limited lighting that he had, and he could tell that he was injured and that he was bleeding from the neck, but he didn't know what was wrong with him or anything like that. He was just trying to give him assistance.
So basically, preliminarily, it just took a long time for this person to basically bleed out until he died?
There was a significant amount of blood in the vehicle, and so we're not exactly sure, whether it was from loss of blood or what happened inside the church itself. But when they had to subdue him until the fire department got there because he became combative.
Was the first person who saw him in the parking lot also the same person who went over and was speaking with him in the parking lot?
Yes.
And then he goes inside?
He goes inside to try and get help for him, to call 911 for an ambulance for him because he knows he's injured.
And then he had followed,
And he followed him into the church.
and then that's where he was subdued because he apparently attacked a
He,
third person.
he became combative inside, so he was subdued inside the church, and then they called 911 and asked for an ambulance for him because they knew he was injured.
Do you know how long he was in the church before he became combative? I mean,
Just a few seconds,
a second?
yes.
And how many people subdued him?
Just one individual.
And that was the first person.
That was the first person that he made contact outside in the parking lot.
Did you say that he went into that person's car, the deceased person drives up in his car, did he go into the other person's car?
No, he walked over towards his vehicle, and then they had a conversation. He was outside, the complainant was standing outside, and the witness was inside his vehicle. He had not gotten out yet. He didn't realize he was injured until, the witness didn't realize he was injured until he got out of his vehicle.
Now, I know you guys he hasn't been identified yet with next to kin and everything, but does it appear that he was from the neighborhood, or did he come from a distance away from it?
We don't-
We don't know.
We're not sure. His driver's license is not from that area, but we don't know whether it's a correct address for him or not. We're still attempting to locate that next of kin.
What's his age?
43 years old.
And what, is he a Dallas resident?
Unknown.
So your complainant, the man who he became aggressive with, you're unable to locate that person?
No, the person, our complainant is the person who died.
Okay, so,
And so we're still not, we have not located his next of kin.
okay.
What ID can you give besides just 43 years old?
He's a white male, 43 years old.
Can you describe how he was dressed, disheveled, or, I mean, nicely dressed, like he was going to work, or can you describe him?
Guys, we're finished up. I think the one piece that I'd like to share as we finish up here is that there's no relationship we're of to the church, and there's no indication that any of the church members need to be concerned about attending services and whatnot at the church. Okay? Thank you.